Let's go Broncos! Something massive may be quietly happening inside the Denver Broncos organization right now, and most NFL fans still haven't realized it yet. While the national media keeps all the attention on Bo Nix, there's another name inside this building that could completely transform the future of the Broncos offense from the shadows. And if what's being discussed behind the scenes actually becomes reality, Denver may finally be preparing to unleash an offense that the entire league will fear next season. The craziest part? This isn't about replacing anyone or creating drama. It's about evolution. It's about finally unlocking the full potential of this roster, and one specific change could take the Broncos from a good football team to a legitimate Super Bowl threat faster than anyone expected. But before I tell you everything, make sure you hit that like button if you truly believe the Denver Broncos are about to rise back to the top of the NFL. And I want every optimistic Broncos fan in the comments right now writing this, "Go Broncos! 2026 will be our comeback season." Now let's get straight into this because there are some fascinating details emerging about what the Broncos may be trying to build offensively. Last season, the offense was good enough to win games, but many people felt it lacked explosiveness. The team moved the chains effectively, relied on shorter passes, screens, checkdowns, and methodical drives, but there weren't enough moments where defenses truly feared getting attacked vertically or through the middle of the field. The Broncos finished right around the middle of the league when it came to explosive plays of 20 or more yards, and while that is acceptable, it's nowhere near championship level. That's where WEBB enters the conversation. What's interesting is that this is not being framed as criticism toward Sean Payton at all. Sean Payton is still viewed as one of the best offensive minds of the last quarter century. Nobody is denying his resume or his Hall of Fame caliber coaching ability. But even great coaches evolve, and there's growing belief that Webb could help bring a more aggressive and modern layer to this offense. One of the biggest areas where Denver reportedly needs improvement is play action. Last season, the Broncos were near the bottom portion of the league in play action passing yards. And that matters because almost every explosive offense in today's NFL thrives off of creating confusion with play action concepts. The teams making deep playoff runs consistently create opportunities downfield through deception, timing, and attacking space aggressively. And this is where things start getting really exciting for Broncos country. The belief is that Webb could help unlock more aggressive concepts that allow players more time to get open downfield while also putting the defense in conflict. Instead of relying almost entirely on short passes and safe throws, the offense may begin taking more calculated shots vertically and through the middle of the field. That could completely transform how defenses prepare for Denver every single week. There's also a huge focus internally on maximizing the talent around Bo Nix. One player expected to become a major part of that equation is Evan Engram. According to discussions surrounding the offense, many people believe Engram was underutilized and should become a far bigger weapon moving forward. His ability to attack soft spots and zone coverage could become critical for opening up the passing attack. Then you look at the running game situation, and suddenly you start seeing the bigger picture. J.K. Dobbins is viewed as a massive key to making this offense function at its highest level. When healthy, Dobbins showed real explosiveness and efficiency. The concern has never been about talent. It has always been about durability. That's why the addition of Jonah Coleman becomes so important. The Broncos appear determined to avoid overloading Dobbins throughout the regular season, instead allowing him to remain fresh while still maintaining a productive rushing attack. If Denver can establish balance offensively, everything changes for Bo Nix. And this might be the biggest takeaway from everything we're hearing. There's growing confidence that Bo is ready for more responsibility. Last season proved he could manage games, protect the football, and lead the offense efficiently. But now many believe the Broncos need to stop limiting him and start allowing him to truly attack defenses. The numbers are beginning to support that argument too. Bo reportedly excelled in clutch situations, especially on third and fourth downs when the pressure was highest. That tells you something about his mentality, processing speed, and leadership. The talent is clearly there. The intelligence is clearly there. And now the next step could be building an offense that actually allows him to fully unleash those strengths. The most interesting part of all of this is the growing belief that Webb may push this offense away from being predictable and into something defenses genuinely fear preparing for. More balance, more aggression, more downfield concepts, more trust in Bo Nix, more explosive opportunities for the playmakers around him. That's the vision many people are starting to see develop in Denver right now. And honestly, if this transformation actually happens, the Broncos could become one of the most dangerous surprise teams in the NFL next season. Because if Bo Nix takes that next leap while the offense becomes more explosive and unpredictable, this team suddenly looks very different from the version we watched last year. What makes this entire situation even more fascinating is that the Broncos may finally be approaching the point where they stop playing cautious football and start embracing the idea that this offense can actually carry games when necessary. That's a massive shift in philosophy if it truly happens. For the last couple of seasons, the structure often felt centered around limiting mistakes, protecting field position, and asking the defense to control the outcome. But now, with the way Bo Nix has developed and with WEBB potentially influencing the offensive identity more heavily, the conversation is starting to change dramatically. And one thing that keeps standing out is how many people underestimate Bo's processing ability. That's probably the most important detail here. Physical talent matters in the NFL, of course, but what separates good quarterbacks from great ones is usually anticipation, confidence, leadership, and understanding exactly where to go with the football before the defense even reacts. Everything being discussed around the Broncos offense suggests they believe Bo Nix is ready for that challenge. You can already see signs of it in the way he handled pressure situations last season. When the game was on the line, Bo consistently delivered conversions, touchdowns, and clutch plays in critical moments. That is not something average quarterbacks do repeatedly. That comes from preparation, calmness, and trust in your reads. And if the Broncos truly begin building a more aggressive attack around those strengths, this offense could evolve much faster than people expect. What's also important is the way the personnel fits this possible transition. Courtland Sutton remains one of the most reliable weapons on the roster, especially in contested situations. Marvin Mims gives this team explosiveness and speed that can stress defenses vertically. Troy Franklin brings another dangerous layer to the field-stretching element. Jalen Watt is being talked about as a centerpiece player capable of changing the entire dynamic of the offense simply because defenses must account for him constantly. Now combine that with a more efficient play-action system and suddenly defensive coordinators have problems everywhere. If J.K. Dobbins is healthy and productive, linebackers are forced to respect the run. If Evan Engram becomes more involved attacking underneath zones and seams, safeties can't simply sit deep waiting for vertical shots. And once defenders hesitate for even half a second, that's when explosive plays happen. That's why so much attention is quietly shifting toward Davis Webb. Many fans only see him as another coach in the building, but internally, there's growing belief that his offensive vision could help modernize certain aspects of Denver's attack. The comparison being made to younger offensive minds around the league is extremely interesting because those coaches have consistently found ways to manufacture explosive opportunities without forcing quarterbacks into reckless football. And honestly, that may be the perfect approach for Bo Nix at this stage of his career. He doesn't need to become a quarterback who throws dangerous passes nonstop. That's not the point. The point is allowing him to trust his instincts, attack favorable matchups, and stop treating every drive like the offense is trying not to lose the game. There's a huge difference between reckless football and aggressive football. Right now, it feels like the Broncos are trying to move toward the second category. Another major factor here is the offensive line. None of this works if